Good afternoon, evening, morning, or whatever time it is where you are, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to Goonies World. I am Meanie, also known as Ryan, and joining me today, and as always, Goonie, also known as Colin.
Yo ho ho.
Oh, piratey. And, of course, Johnny Pharaoh, also known as Sean.
And a bottle of rum.
All right, so we are returning for what I imagine will be the finale of the Pirate versus Pirates series.
Yes, we are, and that is why we are so piratey. And we assume you listened to the last episode, and you know exactly what's going on. So, the two of you, Nicholas Nibble and Petey Tweed, and let's not forget Mr. Twitchy, who's hiding up, you know, in your washerwoman's outfit somewhere, Petey.
Cleavage.
Up among the wigtails, or the cleavage. And Nicholas Nibble hiding in the basket, the laundry basket. You've just gone into the fortress where your best mate, Two Toes Ramsey, is imprisoned and to be hanged today. And there's a huge room right to the right of the entryway, right when you walk in, and there's loads of disgusting, dirty laundry here. You know, it's a tropical climate, and there's a bunch of dudes living in this fortress together. It's horrific smell. And there are other washerwomen in here already. They're putting it into carts, you know. And there are big double doors at the end of the room, and there are two Royal Marines standing there. But other than that, it's not heavily guarded, except for those two guys at the opposite end of this very large room, which is full of about a dozen women heaping dirty laundry into carts. Real powerfully smelly dirty laundry with all kinds of stains on it. You're lucky the black light hasn't been invented yet, you know. And that's where you find yourselves. That's the only other exit out of this room is these double doors at the end of the room with the two Royal Marines. And, you know, they seem to be having a conversation among themselves, and they're, you know, probably about 50 feet away or so. But that's where you find yourselves. What do you do? The classic Game Master question to players. What do you do?
Well, so he's in the cart, right? He's covered up.
Yeah, with
so you probably
that you bought on the street.
should stay there right now. And, well, I've got to find some stairs that lead down to the basement. So I'm going to look around. Is there stairs or anything?
No, there's only the double doors at the other end of the room. If there's any stairs, must be beyond that.
Yeah, well, I'll put a little bit more laundry on top just to make sure that he's not seen it all.
Well, Nicholas, I hate to tell you, you're laying there in the basket, and then just piled on top of you is just some of the foulest undergarments that the British Empire can offer are heaped upon your head.
I have to think that, I mean, he's probably, you know, wearing fairly filthy, you know.
He's pretty filthy anyway.
So he's probably not pleased about it, but probably I'm assuming he's not just going to, like, start vomiting or anything.
Certainly nothing that would, you know, affect his game mechanics at all, but it is disgusting.
Right.
Of course, now, those double doors, if that's where you're approaching after you heap, remember, are guarded by two Royal Marines who are standing there on either side. And I don't want to assume how obvious your approach is, but you get the sense they'll challenge anyone who's trying to come through the door. But you faked your way through crazier situations.
Yeah.
Well, at least recently, at least right outside.
Yeah, I'll just act like I'm going like I'm supposed to.
Oi, wait a minute. Wait up there, love. Where do you think you're going?
Laundry. Someone call for some laundry.
I ain't heard nothing about no lady calling for no laundry, and no man neither, no officer, nothing. You laundry. There's all the laundry's put here to be collected here.
Special.
You got a big load of dirty laundry anyway.
I'm collecting special dirty laundry.
Special dirty laundry? What's she mean, special dirty laundry? Oh, I don't know. Special dirty laundry for who?
It's discreet. It's very soiled. They don't want anybody to know about it. It's embarrassing.
They both stare at you, kind of like open mouth, their jaws hanging open, their eyes in disbelief. But, it's just plausible enough in a place like this. Why don't you go ahead and make a parlay test? Except, I think this is pretty hard. I think you need a 10 or more to succeed in this parlay test. It's just so embarrassing. The nature of this particular soiling, apparently. As these Royal Marines try to wrap their minds around this tall woman with a deep voice.
I've already gotten several cards over.
All right, well, all right, if you say so. I guess you can't do much on by yourself. All right. The other Marine unlocks the door with a great big key he's got around his neck, and it opens up, and you can go through. And inside there is another hallway that kind of curves off to your left. You can tell it's leading deeper into the fortress. And however, there is a hallway to the right, a very short hallway to the right with a spiral stair in it that goes either down or up. And that's almost immediately after you walk in the door. There's certainly nothing able to push a cart down.
I was just about to tell him to strap in and says, hold on. You push him down. So I want to make sure the coast is clear.
All right, yeah, you poke your head around, Scooby-Doo style. Nothing untoward, although you do hear there's some talk and footsteps down that hallway that curves off to the left, beyond where you can see there's the echo of some activity. But it's not approaching you at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think now's our chance. All right, now, Nicholas, I think it's time to get out. I think we've got, unless you want me to try to push you down the stairs, and I don't think that's going to be fun.
Well, it's almost like there's not enough room for the cart. It's a pretty narrow little spiral stair.
I'm assuming that would make way too much noise anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to hop up out of the cart.
Ta-da! And you guys can go into the narrow spiral stair, and I assume you're going down since you were looking for a basement.
Yes.
But you could always go up and admire the view of Port Royal, which, anyway, not today, I guess. Well, creeping down into the basement, you find another heavy door. This one's an iron door, and there's not even like slits in it to see through. But there is a big knocker.
Oh.
Just a simple, round, wrought iron knocker.
Oh, you like me a big knocker.
Pirates love not big knockers.
Yeah, especially a uniknocker. Just one knocker. Right in the middle of the... Never mind. Right in the middle of the door. And, well, do you want to knock on it, or do you want to...
Seems that would be rather loud.
Seems to be asking to be knocked on. It might be a little bit loud, or you could just try to open it and see what happens, but I leave it to you.
Maybe we should try just to see if it's can just be opened. Try to open it as quietly as I can.
Well, just as you grab it, you hear from upstairs, echoing down that spiral stair from where you just came from. You hear like a creaking sound of door opening. Hey, what's this? Hello? Hello, you down the hole? Hello? You hear the voice echoing now, and the door is not locked, in fact, as you pull it open. And inside, though, sitting on a stool, smoking a pipe, looking very surprised, is a young Marine who scrambles for his gun, which is leaning up on the wall. And beyond him is another door. Like, this is just like a little airlock almost, right? And just about a little 4-foot hallway. And he's scrambling for the gun. But make a swashbuckling roll to grab him and silence him before he can grab it or scream or make any noise. Either one of you or both of you, in fact. And he's also going to make a swashbuckling roll. So you'll have to meet or beat his cards. But his best card is 8 of hearts. So I don't know if that'll be that hard.
Yeah, I got a ace of diamonds.
Oh my. Well, that certainly succeeds. And you may narrate how you silence the poor bastard.
So he's just grabbed his gun, right?
Well, he hadn't even grabbed it
he's
yet.
going for it.
Yeah, going for it. Was leaning up on the wall next to him. He was just having a smoke of his pipe and didn't expect anything until he saw you guys. Yeah. So you may completely describe the outcome because you had a red card.
I will just leap on him, I think.
All right. Well, you pounce on this guy. What, are you like smothering his mouth with your...
Something. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll put my hand over his mouth and...
Okay, well, he's struggling. Nicholas, what are you doing meanwhile?
I'm gonna just clock him, with the butt of one of my pistols in the back of the head.
All right. And are you just trying to knock him out? Yeah. Okay. Had you already drawn cards earlier?
I had for the previous, but
yeah. Well, no, that'll count for this whole little scuffle. I think this all is happening, within a few seconds. So if you can beat an 8 of hearts, then
King of Clubs.
Okay, that is black though, and in doing so, he falls down and makes a bang. The stool clatters on the floor. That's my twist I add because it was black. All right then, what's going on down there? And you hear a set of footsteps echoing down the spiral stairs nearby.
Think quick, Petey.
I think let's get on the other side. Let's get where he can't see us. We'll knock him over the head. Right when it comes down.
Yeah, like either side of the doorway. There's probably enough room to do that. Does that sound good to you, Nick?
Just get in the laundry, Nick says. Don't come down, it's very embarrassing.
I'm not decent.
Okay, well, now that you both have the two voices going on, let's make a very hard parlay roll requiring a king. And Nicholas Nibble, being the principal talker, should make this. I know parlay is not his strong suit.
No.
But it should be given a chance of success, however unlikely. And it appears that it will not be likely at all.
You can use your hold card if you deem it necessary.
If you deem it necessary, you do have your hold card. Let's not forget.
You know what? I do have an ace of diamonds held, so I will go ahead and expend that.
Well, I don't know why you want that dirty bastard's laundry, but make it quick. And,
be right up in a moment, love.
Okay. Well, like I said, this guy who you just, who you saw, he's still going, and, what are you doing, with him,
I knocked him out.
Oh, yeah, you clocked him. I'm sorry, I forgot. Anyway, yeah, he's, knocked out, laying on the floor. His pipe falls to the ground. Some of his ashes you stomp out. And like I said, beyond that's another door. And this one does, in fact, have a nice big lock on it. And you search through. I assume you look at this guy. He's not carrying any kind of key. For security's sake, somebody else must have a key and bring it here. But it's a big enough lock you can almost kind of peek through it or whatever.
Before we do anything, I'm going to pick up that Marine's gun just to give it to Two Toes if we find him, in case he doesn't have a gun.
That's a good idea. And the only other thing he has in here on his person is like a small thin knife, not even like a fighting knife, but for whittling or something like that. That's the only other thing he has on him. And you realize you don't have a lot of time.
Well, I'll take that as well, since I don't think I have a knife. And then
I don't suppose you could get up there and convince him to give you the key to get Ramsey's laundry.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. That guy might be the only guy with the keys, I think.
Well, it's also, like I say, it's a pretty big keyhole, and the knife you found is pretty small. You're wondering if maybe you could try poking around in there a little bit with it.
Well, I'm going to look through that first just to see who might be on the other side.
Well, there's nothing on the other side. It's really, really pitch black.
Okay. All right.
It's just a slight sound of light snoring, perhaps.
I think this is where they're keeping them. They wouldn't keep a Marine in here with the lights off. they would a prisoner. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to stick that little knife in the keyhole.
Okay, well, make a hard swashbuckling roll to pick open this door. It's a tool that's not intended for that, but is a close enough size. And you need a 10 or better.
Okay, well, I've got a 10 of diamonds.
Well, that's red cards that you get to narrate completely, and I assume that would be you open the door silently.
Complete success.
Yes, complete and total success. You open the door, and there, before you, in the sliver of lamplight from the fact the lamp's in an inch, you can just pick it up and bring it in. And there before you, just waking up out of sleep, is your best mate, Two Toes Ramsey. And here to play Two Toes Ramsey is our surprise guest, the good Dr. H, returning to Goonies World.
Mates. Whoa. Got a couple of Sheilas in here right now.
Well, just one, really. Only one's dressed up as the woman, but maybe Two Toes is not that picky.
You know, it's a hard life being a pirate, I say.
Oh, my.
Oh, no, I'm actually Petey. Petey Tweed, remember? I'm dressed up as a woman.
Oh, mates. Oh, took you long enough.
Well, we did the best we could,
Don't look a good fish in the mouth, I suppose. But you got a way to get me out of these chains?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's chained to a cannon. There's like an old cannon, and I'll describe the rest of the room real briefly. It has an arched ceiling. The walls of this room, you can just tell. There's something about the brickwork. You can tell it's super thick. In fact, the little 4-foot wide hallway you just came down, that little vestibule, was the thickness of the walls here. This must be the old powder magazine, built really well to protect against explosions. There's a barrel, like a really old greasy barrel, and I say a barrel, but it's more like a keg, sitting to the left of the door. That's the only sign of, and this old gun that your friend Two Toes is chained to. Those are the only signs of it having ever been a powder magazine. But yeah, you think you might be able to pick the locks with your little knife, but if that fails, you could probably shoot them off, although that would create a ton of noise.
Well, I've got success before jimmying a lock, so just hang tight. Let me see what I can do.
Okay, now if you want to pick his locks, it's going to require 3 successive tests. 1 for the 2 in his ankles, 1 for his wrists, and then 1 for like around his waist that's connecting him to the cannon. So, big old heavy padlocks. It looks like Jacob Marley.
And I need to be to 10?
Yeah, okay. For all these.
Yeah, well, I got my first success with a jack of diamonds.
Yes, you do, and that's another red card, which I assume means complete success.
Yes, and this is lockpicking. I mean, this is
swashbuckling. Yeah, same amount of syllables. Anything with the same amount of syllables as swashbuckling is a swashbuckling roll.
I gotta make sure mine is not too good, and that time I didn't make it, but I'm gonna spin my...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 3-syllable words in my head right now are just...
No,
so you're going to spend your whole card then? All right.
So that would be an ace of spades, but it's black.
Okay, well, a little bit of a complication there. That was the second success or the third?
Second, yeah.
Okay, yeah, a little bit of a complication there, and the big heavy padlock falls and makes a loud noise, but I don't know if that's that big of a deal, so.
All right.
Yeah. And then 1 final padlock to free your good friend.
Okay. Well, this one, first card I drew was a queen of spades. So another twist,
there you go. Yeah, another twist. And I will I just have to save that twist for myself. Honestly, just because I can't think of one. Every single black card high might not have a twist. Can't think of an appropriate twist because you've already made some noise. And
thing I can think of is the knife.
More noise.
Knife.
Or the knife breaks.
But I've already used that.
Hey, you know what? Though? I love that. Thank you for the idea for the twist. I think the knife should break because it served its story purpose anyway.
Oh.
And snaps right off there in the last lock. Oh, no. And so now what do you
My
do? Because you know that
lock-picking days are over.
Oh, I'm free, right? Or I am unpicked.
I think so.
Alter.
Right?
Oh, thanks, mate. I always took you for a landlubber, but you're turning into quite a pirate, I think.
Wow. Oh, you wouldn't believe what we've been through just after our wreck, trying to come rescue you and rescue ourselves a lot. It's been one hell of a ride.
I mean, I don't even really know where we are. I'm in some sort of weird powder room, I think, but reckon we need to get out of here.
Well, I've got a really, really stupid idea, but I think it might work.
I'm not dressing up like a lady.
We haven't got to, but because we've already convinced them that Petey was a female, and
I'm quite convincing.
now you just pretend that you've come to get Ramsey's laundry, and he's ravaging you, and we alert the guards, and then blow up that powder barrel.
Well, that is quite stupid.
I don't know if it would get you out. With the walls down here, they certainly wouldn't blow a hole
I
in
get
it.
the feeling that's just something you've wanted to see for a while, there, Nick.
Yeah, maybe so. Although it definitely would kill all the guards, probably.
Well, that was the point.
Yeah, and I encourage you to use that keg of powder that is sitting there. It's almost as if God placed it there for you to use.
What kind of? Are we on an outer wall, or is there window bars in here? What's the deal?
You think you are on an outer wall. There's no window or bars, but you do think you're on an outer wall. It's one of the reasons why they're 4 feet thick. But up above you, there's would be that left-hand leaning hallway that you guys saw earlier. And the walls aren't as thick up there. And those walls overlook the little moat and bridge thingy that you crossed over to get in.
Is there any, straw or hay or anything on the ground?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Some dungeons have straw or hay.
They do, just soak up all the piss and shit, but he wasn't going to be here that long. They'll send some poor bastard down there to mop up the puddle that Ramsey already has created in one corner.
It's my corner.
I was going to try to... if that other god comes down here, we could, if we lure him down here, maybe I could say, no, I don't know. I was just going to say I've come down here to repowder my hair with this powder barrel. But, that's even stupider than the thing that you said, so...
Well, you guys snuck in, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we can just sneak right back out. How'd the non-cross-dresser get in here? Surely
It's in a laundry basket, laundry cart. Do you reckon we could both fit in the cart with the powder barrel?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I reckon that's a good place to start.
You'll have to sneak up the stairs real fast and dive into that cart and all.
Oh, it's not a problem for an old salt like me.
Well, I'm gonna grab the powder barrel. Can I carry it? Is it?
You can carry it. It's certainly weighty, but it's not. So, like I say, it's more of a keg, And I'm not sure about the measurements of barrel sizes. Although I'm sure there is such a whole. There's probably a whole thing, like a bushel and a cask and a keg and a this and a that. But I picture this as like
a firkin.
A firkin. This is a firkin, and it's a firkin keg, and it's a firkin cask. But it's a small barrel that you need both. You have to carry with two hands. Let's put it that way.
Well, I reckon we could probably shuffle this up the stairs. Is there anybody up there?
Well, only one way to find that out.
Have you guys
too.
not been upstairs yet?
Well, not all the way up. We come up from the other, but I don't know if they're Well, somebody found the cart, didn't they?
There was
Yeah, that's why he called down the stairs.
There's a guard. He might be in the vicinity. I'll have to.
Well, why don't you go up and check it out first?
Well, I reckon a couple young pirates like yourself know how to take care of a guard.
Well, that's right. I mean, we did also take care of this guard when we first came downstairs. There was a guy. Shot him up. So, I think, yes, I'm just going to take a peek upstairs see if that guard's hanging about.
Okay. And you know what? That guy who you knocked out also had a saber. If you want to grab that for range.
Oh yeah, and I will give him the gun as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Well, surprise me then. Get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna take a peek upstairs for.
All right. Well, you go up the stairs and look out the little door, and the door into the big laundry room area, that's open. Now, it was closed, but it's open, and the two guards are there, and you're peeking your head around, right? So you get an actual view.
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah, they're in there with about a platoon of guards. And one of them says, "No, definitely clank of metal. Heard it echoing up the stairs. Definitely a loud clank." And, well, right. And they look like they're about to take some action or come in or whatever.
Might have to. Yeah, I'll go back downstairs and tell them.
And you're kind of trapped down here, too. If there's getting away from them is going to be hard once you got to the top of the stairs and ran down that left-hand corridor, you know, or tried to hide and blow. I don't want to give you ideas, hell.
Well, I reckon, do you think that we would get enough explosion off this thing to maybe cave in that door, keep them from running in here, so we could run the other way, up the level, of course.
Oh, I know.
That could work.
I reckon we could put the powder in the cart, push the cart in the doorway, and shoot it. And
That's what I was thinking. We could actually, if we could get this barrel upstairs, put it in the cart, and push it towards all those guards there, shoot it and blow the whole lot of them up, and
that's
we
what
run
I'm
the
saying,
other way. Right. But I said it more elegant.
Oh, look, there's a chain of command here, and I'm heavy. So that was my idea.
I've got an idea. We take the powder, put it in the car.
I'm shooting both of them and running.
For some reason, this Jamaican style song popped into my head. Why you take the powder and you put it in the cart, then you push it towards the guards. I don't know, but you guys, you're gonna whatever you decide. You know, it was about real time. That conversation. That was about the time you had. Anything you know, they're on their way.
Let's go.
All right, up the stairs with the barrel.
A great idea. We all had it. So.
Yeah. So you get up the top of the stairs, and whoever reaches out there with that barrel, I mean, it's going to be such a fluid, beautiful motion because it's going to be within sight of these guys, you know. And I will let whoever thinks they have the best chance do it, but this is require a very difficult swashbuckling roll. A king.
I mean, Nick had already grabbed the powder, so I'm just going to say it's him.
Okay. And if you have any held cards, and this is a perfect time to use them. If necessary, because you're trying to drop it in the barrel, light it, and push it all in one.
We're going to shoot
motion.
it,
I think, we don't need to light it.
That'd be a lot easier. Yeah.
Okay, I have drawn 7 cards. Let's see. Oh my. So King, Queen, Ace, all red.
Oh my. Well, that's what you needed. So please, I'm sure you'll enjoy this, but narrate what happens, if you will.
So with a ballerina-like motion, Nick heaves this powder keg into the cart, and it's like one smooth motion. He does the heave and the push, and the cart starts, barreling towards the guards, and then he's going to shoot it.
All right. And there is a terrible explosion. And not only did it probably kill all the guards, it caves in the entire ceiling of that room, or at least half of it. And there's a huge but thundering avalanche of debris that comes down and obliterates those 2 doors where the guards were. You see them go under. A huge amount of dust comes out all over you and your face. And that whole way out is blocked, but no one is going to chase you off to the left now. And of course, your ears are ringing, a very, very loud explosion. And even you guys are jostled, and shaken by it. But you certainly killed 2 birds with 1 stone in a way. You can't get back out the way you came, but you don't have to worry about the more than a dozen Royal Marines who are about to descend down into the cells and trap you there. There's just that hallway off to the left with the... and as your ears slowly stop ringing, you can hear surprised shouts from that way. You could hear activity down there earlier. Now you can hear some surprised shouts. What do you do?
Well, I guess that's our only way.
I reckon we head that way. Be ready.
You saved yourself a pretty nasty fight, though. And charging down the hallway together. Are you still in washerwoman garb with the wigtails, Petey?
Sure.
No reason not to be, I guess. And but I'm sure you've all got your weapons out at this point. Yeah. And can we assume that Nicholas is reloading his gun while he's on the move?
Yeah.
I got it as best he can, But you guys are also being ready, as I heard. And as you move up to the left and round the corner, there are 3 Royal Marines running at you with their bayonets at the end of their muskets pointed in your direction, and they square off with each of you. How convenient that there are 3 of them. So each of you, please make swashbuckling rolls. And I'm going to set my rolls for my guys in a little order here so we can compare them all later.
That is, draw a number of cards equal to your swashbuckling skill, correct?
That is absolutely correct. And then we'll compare the cards you and your opponent drew. And Ramsey may have an easy time of it. The guard that barrels in towards Ramsey, attempting to eviscerate you with his bayonet, has a 9 of spades as his highest card.
Can't take down a legend like Ramsey Two Toes.
Not with a 9 of spades.
No, not.
And, well, what do you have?
I reckon I have a Queen of Spades.
Oh my. And how many cards in your hand altogether do you have that are a 9 or higher?
Just that one.
Okay, well, you do a point of damage to him, but I assume you're defending yourself with your blade.
1 plus whatever he's got as a weapon.
Yeah, because you're using. That's why I'm saying. I assume you're using your blade.
Yeah, I handed me a cutlass, right?
Yep. Yeah, and therefore it's +1. So you do 2 health damage to this guy. And meanwhile, in the middle, we have the highest card from the Marine attacking Nicholas Nibble is a Jack of Spades. But something tells me that Nick Nibble can beat that.
Nick Nibble can, but not by a lot, and he will do also 2 points of damage.
All right, I assume you're factoring in the weapon thing, which we have a tendency to forget, but that's okay. And then finally, you're getting the sense that this disguise is no longer fooling anyone, by the way, Petey.
All right.
And your rat shrieks and leaps into your non-cleavage as a King of Hearts swung blade bayonet.
Why would you hit a girl?
And as you clash with this guy, what do you get?
I didn't draw very well, so can I use my lucky quality to once per counter redraw cards?
Absolutely, that's exactly why you have it. So luck is with you, and as this otherwise murderous...
Oh my god, luck is not with me.
Oh, it's not, is it?
6 of hearts is the highest I have.
Oh my. Well, the good news for you is I only have 1 card higher than that. I have a 2 and a 5 and a king.
All right.
So there's only going to be 2 damage coming in towards you. I'm factoring in the blade. And you guys will be happy to know that minor NPCs don't have as much health as you guys have. But we are now entering a second round, but this time you guys are initiating. You can see that everything's kind of simultaneous, but they ran in charging. You guys defended yourselves. And now what are you doing? We'll start with the most seasoned old salt of all of you, Two Toes Ramsey. How do you
I'd like to overrule and convince these gentlemen.
Oh my. That's a serious parlay roll.
Yeah, do I
raw.
shuffle those cards back in, or are those out?
No, we've been playing it as we leave them out, and then when we're all discarded, we. Yeah.
Well, listen, we already blew up about over 6 of your compatriots over there down the hallway, and we could do the same to you, or you could perhaps have a change of profession and see that you are wounded and you will need to get out of here, and we are the people you need to get out of here with.
Well, let's just call that a hard parlay. They are wounded.
Oh,
and when I say hard, I mean
we could keep stabbing you and kill you. I mean, the option is yours: death or a life of profit.
these guys know that you're a lot more seasoned than they are. I mean, all three of you. That being said, they are Royal Marines, so go ahead and draw parlay cards, and you need a 10 or better to convince these guys.
Is this a certain circle that I'm respected and therefore would get to draw an extra card based upon that?
I'm going to say so, yes, because they know you've been in the fortress. It's a big deal that they've captured Two Toes Ramsey, so yes, indeed.
Okay, so that is 7 cards then.
Well, you got a good chance.
I have a King of Spades, a Queen of Clubs, and a Jack of Clubs. That all beat a 10.
Okay. And they are all... Those are all black cards, too. And so you succeed, but with a black card, which means I'll add a twist. And, however, I don't really think of it as a terrible twist. They just, they run past you, not away from you. They don't turn around. They run past you, especially in hearing the explosion and hearing all their friends are dead. Maybe half of this is they want to go see if they're okay, you know, but they run past you guys the instant you say that and tear off down the hall.
That's right.
Keep running.
Sons of...
Really the twist being that they don't stick around to let you take all their shit and their uniforms and everything else. You'd have to chase them down if you want to do that. But they were standing in front of doors, but another door, but it's not a locked door. In fact, it's just two doors that kind of swing back and forth. That's what this hallway terminates in.
Well, I reckon we open.
And so far, there hasn't been any gunfire, I don't believe. It's just been a lot of, since the explosion, It's just been sword play and blade play. But
I reckon we open that door.
Yes, I reckon that's the way we ought to go then.
well, you guys push open the door, and inside is a kitchen, and there's lots of fish hanging from the ceiling and things like that. And there's an immense cook wearing a big leather apron, and he has a big swordfish under his arms, and he comes charging across the room, screaming, and attacks you guys with the swordfish. And the first person, who thinks they're the first person in the door?
I would imagine Two Toes. He's
right, well,
going to
Two
lead
Toes-
these people out of here.
I have an ace of diamonds here with an attack on you with a swordfish. Luckily, it's not been scaled and cut up yet.
Draw my swashbuckling.
Yes, please. Or you're going to get swordfished.
My highest card is a King of Hearts.
Well, I'm afraid that does not beat the ace of diamonds. And so, treating the swordfish as a blade, you're going to take 2 health unless you have some way out of that.
The ghost fish's friends are striking back.
Oh, take that, you dirty
Why does it
pirate,
have to
says
be
the
a
cook.
fish?
I know, right? And however, your friends may now leap into action, and you, in fact, go. Well, what are you guys doing?
I am.
As you see, your friend is speared by this swordfish.
I will spear back immediately with a fervent scream of battle cry.
Okay, well, we're gonna do another round, just the two of you, real quick. And I have a Queen of Clubs here.
I have an Ace of Clubs and a Queen of Diamonds.
Oh my. Well, I go with that Ace of Clubs, and so you also have a Queen of Diamonds, which in reverse alphabetical order is higher than Queen of Clubs. So you've done 2 plus 3, 3 health to the cook. And meanwhile, Nicholas Nibble or Petey could jump in, whoever screams first.
Now, he was he cooking that swordfish, or?
No, he just grabbed it down. It was one of the hanging fish. He just grabbed, when he realized there's a fight outside, he grabbed it for a weapon.
Is there anything he was cooking? Is there like a pot of boiling something? nearby?
Oh, I think there should be. In fact, there's a great big like cauldron of chowder, fish chowder. You know, it's got to be. How could there not be?
All right. Well, I will see if I can dump that on him.
Okay, let's make fight swashbuckling rolls here. I've got a king of clubs. That's pretty good. I'm getting a lot of face cards.
I have gotten a king of hearts.
Well, in reverse alphabetical order, that does beat a king of clubs. So, however, it's not going to do like a ton of damage, to him because you don't really get right on. There's only one damage, right?
Well,
so there's a lot of
I mean, I don't know how many cards I got better than him.
Oh, that's true. How many cards did you get that were better than him?
Well,
because he has the king of clubs. It's however many cards you have that's better than the king of clubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's just the one plus whatever.
That's what
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to say boiling water. That's got to be kind of bad, but I'm interpreting this as it doesn't fully splash all over him and drench him, right? He steps a little bit to the side and just runs down one leg. But I think it should probably be, at least as good as a +1. And so, now, he's taken altogether like 5 health from you guys. And there's now like hissing water all over the floor and bits of chowder, some of the chunky parts and things like that, rendering it quite slippery in here in the kitchen, in the fighting area. And meanwhile, Nicholas Nibble, what are you doing?
Well, he's going to take a swing at this chef guy with his cutlass.
Well, I think that sounds like a great idea. And he still reeling from the pain of his swordfish. He fights you with the swordfish. And what do you got there? I'll tell you what I got the best of, but it's embarrassing. And my highest card literally is a 5 of hearts.
Oh dear.
I guess he's distracted by the boiling water.
Of the 7 cards I drew, 6 of them are greater than that.
He is dead. You may completely narrate that at your discretion, especially if one of them's red.
I just chop his head off.
And thunk!
Add that to the stew, mate.
And he's part of the stew now on the floor, and the swordfish, of course, drops lifeless from his hands. And
I would like to, before we jettison the room quickly, I assume, I would like to cut off the beak or the whatever the front nose of a swordfish is called.
Sure. Obviously.
Sword.
Yeah.
The sword. Cut the sword off the fish and take that with me.
Okay. Now, in terms of getting out, you already know about the way you came. But the next room you come into beyond this one is just like a stores room. You know what
anything
I mean?
else like in that room very quickly to pilfer like other knives and things of that nature? And
plenty of knives. There's other knives. There's meat cleavers. There's all kinds of sharp and pointy implements that one could grab. Nothing necessarily better than what you've already got, but a meat cleaver would be a lot more dramatic. But in the next
stuff some pockets with some stuff in case we need them later. So.
Okay, I like the idea of a pocket full of knives.
Yeah.
So,
or like if we need to pick some more locks, maybe a fork would be useful. Things like that.
Well, so let's say we pause for just a moment to grab up some cutlery, especially given that you've used it effectively in lockpicking before. So we have a nice cutlery selection. Nothing fancy, nothing you want to bring out for company, but it's good enough for Royal Marines, and not the officers, of course. And the next room beyond that is there's just like old barrels in there. It's just bread, dried bread, things like that. There's a pork hanging from, salt pork and things like that in here. But it's really more of a hallway and larder and pantry. And beyond that, you look out into a barracks room full of bunks with 6 Marines in it. And beyond that, on the other side, is this big picture window that's looking out onto the sea. It's the front of the fort. You've gone all the way through the fort now from back to front, and this is the part that's looking out over the sea. So I say a great big picture window, but it's not even got glass in it at this point. It's just got shutters, and they're open, and they got some curtains in the breeze, but there's 6 of them in there, and they weren't like completely ready for you, but they've been getting up and they were sleeping, and they're getting up and getting their pants on and getting buckled in ever since they heard that first explosion. This has only been like a couple minutes.
Can we retroactively say that I also took the chef hat?
I assumed you did.
Okay,
I assumed you did take the chef hat.
Maybe a little blood splatter on it and everything as well.
I think that's a good touch.
Mates, now understand we've killed a lot of you already, and we don't want to kill any more. So why don't you reckon you stand aside and we just leave out of here, and we don't have to do anything else nasty?
Well, seeing as you're outnumbered by them, one of them sneers at you, and
do you know who I am, boy?
And I'm going to let you try this parlay thing again, but you'd have to be so great at it. I mean, I wish I could find something harder than a king, but a king is as hard as I can make it. So I think you should be allowed to try, because you do look pretty fearsome in that chef's hat with the blood on it and the swordfish. And they've heard the explosion. They've heard stories of piracy and pirates, and they're afraid of you. So see what you can do.
Ace of Hearts.
Well, not only do you succeed, you may narrate entirely what happens, because you have a red card.
Mates, there's only one thing in this mortar coil that can take down an old sea dog like me, and I don't see a ghost fish out here anywhere. Now you will step aside, or we will litter this entire room with your entrails for the seagulls.
I'm thinking of when, in The Princess Bride, when Chris Sarandon just sits down in the chair real fast when let's just draw your sword. That's exactly what they do. They all just like flop back down onto their bunks.
Now you hit him, and then you hit him, and just make them kind of punch each other around a circle.
They don't go that far with it, but they do look at you, they do look at you though like he's insane, but in a fearful way, not a pitying way. Now there's one pretty obvious exit from this room, which would be the window. Beyond that, there is one other exit that is a door that would go to your left, which would just be further along the front of the fort. There can only be more and more and more Marines. There's already alarm bells ringing now, not only in the fort, but like throughout the town.
Does this window, does it look directly over the ocean? Like if we were to jump out of it?
Does. Okay. Yeah, it does. It's a big jump, you know. You have to make a swashbuckling over land without hurting yourself.
Can we, with them, make them like throw in their weapons and then tell them to run off down the hall to check on their friends or something of that? Remove them from the scene so they can't shoot us in the back as well.
Well, some of them are already feeling so humiliated that it would require another roll to get them to do anything other than stare in sullen silence at you. But I would allow you to make the roll.
I think we should make them jump out to the window to see if they'll survive, because we need to jump out the window.
That's not a bad idea. You're becoming quite a pirate, little one.
I've got a sick mind. I'm not.
They're all going to hang you dirty pirates one way or the other.
You shut up, you son of a biscuit eater.
We're not the ones going to be in the hempen jig, my friend.
Well, you know, these guys are probably not their best and brightest. They're the ones who are asleep in the morning. It means they were on night guard duty, you know what I mean? So,
all right, who's first out the window then?
They all look at each other doubtfully. And
no volunteers.
All right, who's the first to get stabbed by a swordfish then?
You guys are really going to make them jump out?
I mean, at least
just one.
Yeah, I'm going to say that some time has passed. I mentioned that alarm bells were ringing and stuff like that, so I'm going to draw from the deck. If I get a black card, then something bad's going to happen, but I don't. I got a 9 of diamonds, but you expect other guards to be bursting in that door to your left like pretty much any minute. But you could grab one and throw them out, perhaps, but you're not going to get any of them who's just going to jump out. In fact, you're not so sure how long they're going to sit here cooperating either.
Probably worn out at our welcome. There's a door out of here, you said, correct?
Yes, there's 2 ways out. There's the door and then the window. The door would lead like along the front of the fortress.
And it's going to be crawling with more of these. I think I'm going to... I think the way out is drop. I think we ought to grab 1 or 2 of these guys as flotation devices and
Oh, which ones
They
are
are.
which ones are the sturdy ones? The that cook was pretty big. Not sure how well he'll float now, though.
He's got holes in him.
Yeah.
Let's. Is there any? That's a stupid idea, but.
Oh,
The longer you
great idea.
the longer you talk about throwing them out windows and things like that, the longer it strains credulity that they're gonna sit here without leaping to attack. So
Well, I'm gonna.
First one goes out the window, then I guess.
Yeah, I want to grab one as well.
Oh, Nick, you're being kind of quiet. Are you on board with this plan?
Well, everybody was talking. I didn't want to interrupt anybody, but Nick, by this point, probably would have already grabbed one and thrown him out the
okay,
window.
we'll make a swat.
Or jumped out the window
All
with
right.
it.
Well, if you're gonna grab him and run and go together, then I'm not gonna give him a swashbuckling roll to resist. If you're trying to just throw one out, I'd give him a chance to resist. But while you guys are debating it, Nick, a man of action, I think we all know, grabs the nearest one, young private from Suffolk, and leaps out the window with him. And unless you guys just immediately follow, I kind of picture everybody in the room, Marines and pirates, like running up to look over the,
Craning our necks to see if they live or not.
See, and just like Wile E. Coyote, it's not that high, but you it's really just maybe 60 or 80 feet, but crash down into the water you go, Nicholas. But make a swashbuckling roll to land nicely and not get hurt. And you need a 6. It's pretty easy.
Highest is Ace of Spades.
Oh well, only a very minor twist, and that's more embarrassing than anything. You go down underwater, and when you land well, but the force of the water takes your pants off with it. You're wearing rags and stuff anyway.
You've been depantsed.
You've been depantsed by the landing, but you still got your boots. Don't worry. And your shirt's long, billowy pirate shirt, so it's not like you're walking around. You will be walking around bare ass, but your pants just kind of come down and disintegrate and fall off. That really happened to me though. Once I jumped in the water and my swimming trunks came off because of the way I went in. They were too loose, so I could totally see that happening, and that's what happened.
I like it better if all of his clothes just come off.
It would just be too much of a disintegration. But I think the pants are gonna be bad enough. You still got the billowy white shirt. You're swimming in the water. The Marine. He gets a queen of. I'm not gonna. My first card I drew from was a queen of diamonds. He's gonna be okay, but he's swimming off in the opposite direction. He's probably, not any immediate threat to you. Of course, you can hear the loud bells ringing in the fort, alarm bells, and of course, you two. Meanwhile, Two Toes Ramsey and Petey Tweed. What do? Mr. Twitchy, your rat looks nervously over at you, Petey. He's wondering if you guys are going to jump.
I reckon it's time to jump, mate.
I reckon that's
I'll
right.
grab his shirt and pull him with me as I jump over.
Hold on, Mr. Twitchy.
And Mr. Twitchy does hold on, and you guys plummet towards the waves. Go ahead and make swashbuckling rolls. All you need is a 6 or higher to not land badly and get hurt.
Queen of, I should
King of Diamonds.
Hey, that's red. Your pants don't fall
Hey,
off.
that's good.
I got a
I
queen
could
of.
use the 6 of spades instead if I just want to,
You can just, hey, the great thing about this rule system is it allows you to take off your pants whenever you want without making a
That's-
test. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Rules light, you'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, rules light. Pants light. Pants optional rule system. And so what did you get, Petey Tweed?
Queen of clubs.
Queen
No,
of clubs.
Give me the
Well-
old twist.
Well, I am going to give you the little twist. Except I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to Mr. Twitchy.
Yeah.
And when you land, as you feel Mr. Twitchy's
Mr.
little
Twitchy's
claws
little pants come off.
He got a little pirate outfit, the little,
Eye patch.
He's got like a little vest and an iPad. No, he gets separated from you in the water. You look around, you can't find Mr. Twitchy anywhere.
Where is he? Have you seen Mr. Twitchy? Where is he?
Well, and you don't know. You don't know what happened to poor Mr. Twitchy.
We can't leave yet. We've got to find him. Where did he go?
Do you want to?
Oh, mate, this rat's all over the place. We can find another one.
Don't you say that. He's not the same. He's been with me this whole time.
Remember the code, mate.
Okay, well, Mr. Twitchy does suddenly pop his little head up, but this concern over Mr. Twitchy's delayed you long enough. You hear some musket shots coming up from the, balcony above you where you just jumped as those guys shoot down. But it's going to be more a matter of, I'm not rolling for them. I want you to make swashbuckling rolls to like dive and swim and not get hit as this hail of musket balls comes down. And, of course, that means all of you. Although, I imagine that Nicholas is a little bit further away.
I got a couple 9s.
Okay. Those are pretty good. We just need more than a 6.
The King of Spades.
Oh my, you're not getting hit by any errant musket balls. Oh my, well, you guys are okay, and you're able to swim. Now, you realize you can't just swim out into the ocean and swim away. You just have to swim like around the fort and get back up onto land. You also know there's no getting on a ship and getting that out of here fast enough during the daytime, probably, unless you can come up with some great plan. But darkness is much easier to slip
we
off.
need to hide, mates. You guys said you snuck into the fort, right?
That's right.
Did you see anywhere outside the fort that we might be able to hide?
Oh, we didn't necessarily go around looking about. Just
You do have what I might call 2 allies in town, sort of. There is your friend Slippery Jim that you met at the Vile Tap Room Nicholas was talking to. And then, of course, there's Rosie Ricketts, the prostitute at Jenny's Teacup, the brothel. It's possible maybe you could hide with one of them. I don't know. I don't want to put ideas in your head. You might be able to get back to your ship and escape. You never know.
Right. How'd you guys get here?
we stole a pirate. Well, it wasn't a pirate ship. We stole a ship. Captain, some captain named Murgatroyd took his ship. He was hunting the old pirates.
Right, but after subsequently we pirated a Dutch trading.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Coffee.
The Cosmos. Captain Van Schmashel.
I reckon we should get back there and get the hell out of here.
Well, it's not that far of a swim to get back around to, the edge of the fort's built on the edge of the very end of the spit of land, that comes out and creates this sheltered bay. But it's not that hard to swim up and get right back up onto the land and right into the town and start running down alleys. That could be accomplished in just a minute or two, really. And I'll assume that's what you do. If you want to make it over to the docks and get to your ship, that's one place you could go.
Yeah, after getting Mr. Twitchy, again, I will then swim towards the docks and make a run for it if that's what you guys are doing.
Well, you guys, coming up out of the water, to avoid being completely noticed doing this by passersby, they're all looking in the direction of the fortress right now because they can tell there's been an explosion. It's not like, the whole building was damaged and fell down, but there was serious damage to it. The bells are ringing from the fortress, as you recall, and they can hear musket fires. They're all looking in that direction. They might not notice as 3 wet pirates clamber up, out of the water onto land from the docks, but please make easy, or not easy, but if you need a 6 or higher in swashbuckling rolls, just to be sneaky and avoid being seen as you come up out of the water.
Ace of Spades.
Oh my, the Ace of Spades.
Lemmy is on my side.
That's right, the Motorhead card. Back when we would play Savage Worlds, we would give a +2 bonus when the Ace of Spades was drawn, except you had to vocalize, "The Ace of Spades!" You had to say that, or you didn't get the bonus. So, how about the rest of you guys? Anyone get less than a 6?
No, not I.
Yes, I did get a lot of cards less than 6, but I also got
Well,
2
that's good.
over 6.
So no one notices. They're all looking off in the direction of the turmoil at the fortress as 3 little pirate heads pop up onto the dock and sneak up on. I assume you're moving in the direction of the Cosmos, I assume. Yeah, and as you approach the Cosmos, and you're all soaking wet and bedraggled looking, so you do get some stairs.
Mate, where'd your pants go?
But, yeah. Yeah, and then he's got the
you might
long
want to grab some
shirt.
pants
Don't
away,
worry.
man. This is...
He's bare-legged. But luckily, this is not an age of photography, so it's not like everybody recognizes Two Toes Ramsey. Although, I mean, there are wanted posters and stuff, but they're like hand-drawn, and all the wanted posters look the same. It's like a scary-looking guy with a beard, pretty much, you know. But anyway, you guys get back to the Cosmos, and then you realize when you see Royal Marines swarming all over the Cosmos that in the very first game when Nicholas gave an oration to the crew of the Phobos to stick with them, there was a complication which I kept to myself, and that's that one of them decided to get back and tell on you as soon as he got back to civilization, which he did. And now Royal Marines are all over the Cosmos. They haven't noticed you yet. You know what I mean? You're just walking along.
Is there a powder room on that boat, friends?
No, just a bunch of
doesn't
coffee.
go up.
No, but if you're going to get away, you're going to have to steal some other kind of ship. And you don't know where your crew is, so I mean, the smaller the better. You could also run away into the hinterlands of Jamaica. That being said, there are now, you can see troops kind of streaming out over the little bridge from the fortress into the town. They're not chasing you because they could see you, but they're swarming out into the town now to be searching the town. And if you're going to hide in town somewhere, now would be a good time to start thinking about it.
Any other boats around that are... I mean, we don't have a crew, right? It's just the 3 of us, unless...
Yeah, it's just the 3 of you. So, like, the most you're gonna be able to handle is a small sloop.
Right.
And again, it's a lot easier to steal them at night than it is during the day. During the day, you got so many other people around. You know, if there's any struggle, everybody's gonna see
Well,
it.
you mate said that you had a prostitute that might be able to help us, and also hide us.
Yes, she's quite fond of me. I think she took... she liked what she got, so I think
So she's pro rat, is what you're saying.
She didn't mind Mr. Twitchy watching.
She was a little creeped out at first, but she got used to it, and then now I think it's a fetish. So I think I think she guys would be happy to let us come and hide.
Do you want to run back over to Jenny's teacup?
Sounds like it.
It's our best bet.
Well, don't see any of
Well, the other
plan.
friend that might be able to help you is Slippery Jim. You know, he seemed like a pretty nice guy. He gave you some.
Tried to steal you.
Yeah, but Slippery Rosie.
Hell,
was more fun.
you're not without friends in this town, is my point. But you go
Slippery
rushing
Jim
off
actually
towards
tried to steal his wallet the
He
first
did.
time he met. So
He did apologize though, and he bought him.
yeah, it's true.
bought him
But
some rum.
I think I'd rather trust.
That's the
Rosie.
kind of guy that would turn you into the gods if it worked for him.
That's probably true. So, rushing back up the street that Jenny's Teacup is on, you can, of course, see at the end of that street, you'll recall, is that great big church with the broken cross that they've got the scaffolding up, and there are guys up there working right now, repairing it. That sort of just dominates the whole neighborhood, which is ironic, since it's full of tap rooms and brothels. And you push your way into the door, and a bunch of the ladies who are loitering in the lounge of Jenny's Teacup turn around, and they see the 3 of you, and they see Nicholas Nibble with no pants. And we go, "Oh, we got a live one! We got a live one! It looks like you're not going to wait long. Got his pants off already." And Rosie comes walking down the stairs. "Well, hello, love. You're back so soon. Oh, I see you've got a new friend. I hope you didn't do nothing to put my sister in harm's way." She yells at you, comes storming towards you, wagging her finger
Oh, no.
accusingly.
Although I don't know who your sister is.
Oh, my sister's a washerwoman. Now look at you wearing her clothes.
It's
You're all
not.
wet.
It's not his sister's clothes, though. Don't worry. She got. We paid her. I don't know if we paid her or not, but she got quite benefit off. She got a day off work, and we took her spot, and she's fine. Everything's fine.
Make a parlay test. You need to get a...
Well,
she likes you. She does like you, so let's make it a 6.
yes, and I was telling the truth. Okay.
That's true. Petey the truthful pirate. The truthful pirate.
I never tells a lie.
Are you a pirate? Yes, I am. Get him!
Draw it again.
Okay, ace of clubs.
All right. Well, oh, love. What you done got yourself into? And then there's another like a panpipe style whistle blowing down at the end of the street. You know, like a copper whistle. And a couple of them all look out the door. She goes, "Let's go door to door. You gotta get upstairs and hide in the attic, quick, quick."
Before we go ringing each other bells, we hear that ringing bell, and we need to get hidden up here now.
Yeah, right this way. Come up here, love. She takes you back up into the room where you originally were, and she pushes a bureau aside, and behind that's a very narrow stairway. You have to like walk up sideways into this like Anne Frank style attic with very high A-frame style roof. And as you come up, some pigeons who are living up here flock out of the one window that's overlooking the street. And there's a little bit of light in here, and you're hiding up there.
There are pigeons in the prostitute's secret hole, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They're quivering pigeons. They're quim pigeons.
You might even call it a pigeonhole.
That's where you find the quim pigeons. Anyway, the quim pigeons leave the place, and you're in there hiding. And downstairs, though, you hear a heavy knock on the door. And you're looking for some pirates. There's no pirates in here. No, we're searching door to door, every door. And you hear stomping around and knocking things over, and women protesting, and embarrassed clients being turned out of bedrooms. And then right down the bottom of the stairs, you can hear footsteps walking around in the room. Now, it's very dusty up here. It doesn't get a lot of cleaning. The pigeons stirred up a lot of dust, and you can see it in the shaft of sunlight, the dust motes dancing. And suddenly, you're all just seized with the urge to sneeze. And it's really, really hard not to sneeze. Please, it's a matter of swashbuckling, not sneezing in a situation like this. And it's so hard not to sneeze, you need a 10 or better on a swashbuckling roll, not to sneeze and reveal your position. Hey, there we go. We see an ace of diamonds from Two Toes Ramsey.
And if I get any sort of narrative control over the situation, my move would be to cover someone's mouth if it appears that they are about to sneeze with
I would allow that.
dirty pirate hand.
All right. And what about... now, I saw Nicholas holding up a card, but I didn't see what it was.
Ace of hearts and the 10
I
nice.
also got an ace of hearts.
Well, luckily, none of you sneezed, but poor little Mr. Twitchy. Poor little Mr. Twitchy.
Oh, maybe we should have drowned him.
He gives a tiny little rat sneeze, and I'm just going to draw a card, and if it's a black card, they heard his little rat sneeze. And so I'm not even going to look at it. I'm going to hold my card up, and looks like that's a red card. So they didn't hear your little sneeze. And just when you think everybody's going to be okay, suddenly there is this huge sudden rattle, and the whole room that you're in sways back and forth. There's a terrible, like a deep groan in the earth, and your stomachs lurch as the whole building you're in just drops by about 4 feet suddenly.
They got us.
Tilts to one side, and you can hear all kinds of screaming, not only in here and outside as well. And
It's the ghost fish.
it must be only the ghost fish could. And like the whole building, I said, kind of pitched and tilted, and like seemed to just sink 4 feet suddenly. And it's when it tilted, that's put you on a slope heading down towards that little window. It's not like you're all going to be in danger of falling out the window. But please make a swashbuckling roll. You just need a 6, not to just slide down the rest of the floor. And meanwhile, the ground continues to rumble and shake, and There's a huge roaring sound in the distance.
Does that sound like cannon fire to you?
No, it's too steady. It's like a great drone almost. And did anyone fail that swashbuckling roll? Well, that's good. So you all gently slide down the floor and congregate around the window, this little dormer-style window, and you can look out onto the street, and there's literally like water coming up out of the street in cracks. There's a building right across from you. It's actually a bank, and it is sinking as you watch it into the ground. There's water bubbling up all around it. And again, there's also this distant, droning, ominous, menacing roar. And you guys have been pirates for a long time. You've heard stories. You think this town is about to get hit with a wave like you would not believe. And you suddenly realize you just may be doomed. You may have just escaped from one death only to meet another. You look outside, there are people running either all hither and thither in the streets, throwing themselves on the ground, beating their breasts, tearing out their hair. That huge church at the end of the street just kind of tilts. It doesn't fall down, but all those guys on the scaffolding up working on the cross, they all fall off and smash into the pavement below, which is now almost under about 2 or 3 feet of water. So I've just done a lot of narrating there, but I wanted to make sure you appreciate the chaotic situation in which you are in. You all realize that there's an earthquake happening.
It's the big one.
Yeah. And you remember meeting with Baron Zametti, who said he was going to bring destruction. And then you remember meeting the Methodist yesterday, or was it earlier today, who said that the city was doomed. It was the evilest place on earth and was going to be destroyed. Maybe that is what's happening. Although I think you two are more inclined to go with the Baron Zametti theory than any other. But what do you do?
No, you remember what the Baron said to us?
Baron? What Baron?
Oh, we met to a Baron through, it was like some kind of spirit or God
you
or
talking
something.
about Baron Zametti?
That's right. A lady we met channeled him, and she said that he was going to destroy this place, or we didn't know it was this place, but he's going to destroy. He's going to be our doom or something like that. But there was something else about something like what we should do.
Oh, mate, think this is important.
In the moment of our doom, we should look at something about a broken. Come on, Nicholas. You were there too.
I don't remember, but the most prominent broken thing around is that
the
cross.
broken god.
That's right.
You find your salvation. Well, just as this occurs to you, suddenly a wall of water hits the city, and that entire church, as you're looking up at it, it just smashes. The top part of it falls backwards as the front part of it surges forwards down the street. There's a huge wave. It's wiping away buildings as it comes. But on that wave, riding the wave down the middle of the street, is this boat. It's in fact a small revenue cutter. It's a small sloop. And it's like surfing down the middle of the street almost as this huge wave comes in towards your position. What do you guys do?
That's our ride, mates. Let's go.
We've got to
I
jump on.
agree.
Well, it gets closer and closer, and it's a big jump, though. It's a big jump. It's going to be hard. You're going to need a king to jump all that way. As you see this, there's even people on it, terrified people on the sloop. And, in fact, it's flying a British flag, so, it's local. But there's not that many of them. There's about 6 guys who aren't dead, and they're terrified, and it comes looming up beneath you, but it's a good bit away. So you will need, and I see Nicholas Nibble has made the jump, and he lands on the wooden deck of this pitching ship. Oh my goodness, and so does Petey Tweed, and so does Two Toes Ramsey, as these 3 pirates land on this. Everybody, quick, make swashbuckling rolls to get this thing under control. Make sure it doesn't smash right inside of a wall. There's very little one can do, but you can start ordering around these dazed seamen, and I see, And I see that Two Toes Ramsey's holding up some very high cards.
What do we need
Queen
to
of
get?
clubs and jack of hearts.
Nice. And I was going to say you needed a 10. So, well, it looks like everybody succeeds. And this wave you're riding, I'm rolling past. That being said, you do caroom off of sinking buildings to left and right. Showers of bricks fall down as you hit them, and splinters rip off boards here and there. The ship itself is terribly damaged. The sail is whipping about in the wind. You guys have just managed to get that back under control. And flying out past the fortress itself, which is largely unaffected. The guns go off from the fort as they see you approach, because they can tell and they know exactly who it is on the ship. One of their guys up there has a spyglass that's pointed right at the boat. The boat itself being such a phenomenon, sailing down the middle of the street and coming out of the city, that all the eyes of all the Marines in the fort are turned towards it. But a first salvo of guns misses your ship. A second salvo of guns misses your ship. And my goodness, a third. I was just drawing for black cards, 3 in a row. And,
You think they'd have better things to do right now?
and then, like I said, the fort itself is
Oh, Nick, why don't you go ahead and bend over and give him the pirate salute while we're at it?
that seems like a nice one.
I've never learned. Why wasn't I taught about a pirate salute?
Oh, you're gonna have to drop your pants, mate.
Do you want to give them the pirate salute, Nick? All right, so showing the Royal Marines your arse.
That's not in this book I've got about pirates. It's nowhere in there. It's not
As
official.
You ride off on the course of this wave, and looking behind you at Port Royal, like a good third of the city is just like sinking down into nothing, and what was a city is just like no more. And there are fires going everywhere now. Despite all the water, that's pushed over things, that's caught curtains on fire. It's a mess. Clearly doom and destruction is coming. And yet, as Baron Zametti said, you did find the way of salvation as you ride out onto the suddenly eerily calm seas as you
I'm gonna miss that
float
place.
away from the chaos. Your seamen who are on this craft with you are still just too stunned to do anything, and it's only then that the whole front of the ship lifts up as if something huge has pushed it out of the water, and it tilts backwards, makes swashbuckling rolls, or slide down the deck to fall off. And I'm drawing red or black cards for your crew on here. 2 of your crew fall off into the water. Two Toes Ramsey manages to not get hurt as he slides down towards the back. How about Nicholas Nibble? Parajax. All right. And how about Petey Tweed?
What did we need? 10
You
or
need
6?
you need a 10.
I did not get it, but it's a new encounter,
no. That is sure is.
so I'll try again.
All right, because otherwise you're gonna have your neck entangled in some rope as you slide down the deck. And you succeed with an ace, and then you all look in horror for what has pushed the bow of the ship out of the water is a huge, semi-translucent, evil-visaged ghost fish.
Oh, it's the ghost fish!
Which looms down over you and casts its
It's not real.
undead shadow upon you. And that is the end of our piratical adventures. And maybe someday we'll join with our pirate friends again to see if they lived through their encounter with the ghost fish. But they've certainly survived the 1692 Port Royal earthquake in Jamaica. And we have concluded our 3rd chapter. And so, thank you, Zach, as Two Toes Ramsey, for joining us today.
Any day, mate.
Yes, I think you had a first name, but we never ever used it. This is always Two Toes
My
Ramsey.
name's Two Toes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, and next week, of course, we'll be back with something else. Are we ready to say what yet? Or not next week, but after our week break, since we just finished the story arc, we'll be back with... We don't know.
Adventures in space.
Space. Going from pirates to space. Gee, I wonder if any old friends will make a reappearance.
It's certainly a possibility.
More than a year later. Well, we'll see.